We're gonna hit it behind and let's go. Hey, so one love, one team, one goal, right? Here we go, here we go. Salve on 3, 1, 2, 3. Salve!
Strike 3, and the Seahawks have won the 2016 Commonwealth Coast Conference Championship. Seahawk fans, celebrate!
Hello, I'm Ed Habershaw, the Sports Information Director at Salve Regina University, and I'm with Eric Cirella, the head baseball coach of the Seahawks. Welcome, Eric.
Thanks, Ed. Thanks for having me.
Coming off a championship season in 2016, what are the challenges in repeating?
I mean, first and foremost, it's not something that guys can just expect to, roll into fall ball and spring ball and think that we're just going to be in the championship again and have an opportunity to win. Our conference is very, very talented in baseball with, there's probably 4 or 5 teams that can beat anyone in the country on any given day. And just to give you some perspective, in 3 years, every single team in the conference has beaten us. And, we've been very successful over the course of 3 years, making the playoffs every year and winning 26 games. So, we have a good program, but at the same time, the 8 other teams in the conference have all beaten us at least once.
You've recruited players as an assistant coach in a D1 program. How is the process similar and or different as the head coach of a Division III program?
The D1 process starts a little bit sooner. You're starting to identify kids as freshmen and sophomores who, because they're looking for the best of the best, and in order to compete with some of the higher budget schools and some of the bigger schools, especially as you travel further south and further west, you got to be on top, and you got to be in front of the curve, so to speak, with recruiting and know who's good and have a really good evaluation. So when a kid is ready to make a decision, you're ready with an offer. Because if a kid's ready and you're not ready with an offer, then he's going to go somewhere else. At this level, we're identifying kids, as sophomores, but we're really waiting until that spring of his junior year and that summer of his junior year to, make contacts, schedule visits, and hopefully, if the process goes well, have him for an official visit to start his senior year. So it's just a little bit delayed. Looking for the same type of kids, and we're looking for a lot of the same type of attributes. It's just it's not as soon, not as early.
So perhaps one of the similarities is that you can recruit some of the same players that you were recruiting while an assistant at URI.
No, absolutely. The big sell to these guys is that we're going to run our program like a Division I program within the D3 rules, and baseball is just a different sport where you see 20, 25, 30 kids from the D3 level get drafted every single year in the Major League Draft. Hundreds others are signing independent contracts or their senior signs with teams. So baseball is just a sport where you need to play, you need to get exposure. We all, played on some sort of a travel team as a youngster and went down to Florida or Texas or California and got beat up. And it's not because they're drinking something in the water or they're taking a magic pill, it's just because they get to play more. Up in the Northeast, there's a lot of untapped potential. There's a lot of kids maybe playing 2 or 3 sports. So when they get an opportunity to focus on one, and they get to play every day, then the sky's the limit. And that's how a lot of these stories with guys getting drafted kind of come about. And at the same time, my staff and I do a great job of placing guys in summer collegiate leagues, which is so important to the player development process. And these guys are getting a chance to play with kids who play at the D1 level, D2, JUCO, NAIA. When they do well, they make a name for themselves. And we've had a lot of success with guys in the NYCBL, the Futures League, the Mink League, and a variety of other leagues across the country. So next year we're going to have 20 kids playing in summer collegiate leagues, trying to get better and sacrificing their summers and sacrificing an internship maybe or a job to get better and come back next fall a better player.
Coach, how do you construct your ideal lineup?
I think there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, on every team, there's probably 3 to 5 guys who you're going to see in the lineup every single day, and those are your those are your dudes. Those are your big bats, or your guys like Johnny Militano, who is our best second baseman, our best center fielder. So it kind of varies with who's swinging the hot stick, and lefty-righty matchups, and just what you're looking for on a given day. But I think with us, it's been historically 4 or 5 guys you're going to see in the lineup every day if they're healthy, and then a mix of 8 or 9 other guys who are mixing in those other 4 or 5 spots based on how they do in practice, how they did in BP, how they're progressing, how they're developing, and what we think is the best matchup on that given day.
What are your goals for 2017?
I just want to continue to build the program. We've made some great strides with facilities and alumni and support with fundraising. The culture continues to get better as you have kids in the program, for 2, 3, 4 years. So I really feel like it's just continuing to build Salve baseball so that outsiders or people that are familiar with the region and people that are familiar with baseball know, hey, that's a good team. Regardless if they graduate 4 kids or they graduate 12 kids, they're going to be a good team. And if you don't play good baseball, they're going to beat you. I think that's all we can hope for, is to stay healthy and compete at a high level and play good baseball, learn from our mistakes early, and hopefully be playing our best baseball come the end of April, beginning of May.
Eric, identify one or more of your key strengths that are going to help your team reach its goals in 2017.
I mean, I think that being a younger coach, I'm not necessarily set in my ways, and I think that realizing that everybody's different. I think our approach to player development and our approach to how we run our program is not cookie cutter. It's not everybody's doing the same exact thing. Everybody's body's different. Everybody's mind is different. Everybody has different abilities. You can't coach everybody the same way and expect to get the best results out of them. So, I think that's a strength of our program, is it's based on the individual and what that person needs. When you're in this profession for 30 years, you might, or I've seen and heard that guys are just, this is what they're going to get, this is what they're going to do, and this is how they're going to do it. To me, those programs get kind of caught and fixed, and I think what makes our team special, and what makes especially our offense, which has been pretty dynamic the last couple of years,
In the air to left field,
is that
deep.
We
Back
have
it
ways to
goes.
score runs
Over the fence.
in a
First
variety
home run
of
the
ways.
season for the
And,
Seahawks.
in New England, the wind could be
Comes
blowing
from
in
the bat,
40 miles an
our
hour,
senior
and
captain,
it's going to be impossible to hit a home
Ryan
run. Well, we do a great job on the bases, and we do a lot
And he ties the
with short
score
game
at
and
2-2.
handling the bat and hitting behind runners and situationally hitting and stuff like that. And then there's other games where you might have to score 10 or 14 runs to win. Just take our conference championship, for example, last year. Game 1, we scored 13 runs. We scored 9 runs in the 3rd inning, and Game 2, we don't get a hit until the 6th inning, and we win a 2-1 game. So it's every game's going to be a little bit different, and I think that is what makes our program dynamic. Is it's not just one way to score runs. There's a lot of different ways for us to score runs, and I kind of look at our offense as how we're going to score runs when we're not hitting, or we're not hitting balls over the fence.
Follow all the Seahawk action in 2017 on salveathletics.com and on your favorite mobile device with the free Front Row app from Presto.